BYU enters the 2024 season expecting better things this year. They expect to be a better team this season. And with the top returning talent that we'll talk about today, it's easy to see why that's definitely possible. We start with the offensive side of the ball. Chase Roberts will be a major factor in this passing attack. He will be someone that is expected to play a bigger role. 6'4", 210 pounds. He's a bigger target, someone who has been an explosive playmaker for this BYU team in the past. 573 yards and 5 touchdowns. Maybe not his best season, but if BYU can take a step forward offensively and improve upon last year's struggles, Chase Roberts will be a factor in that, but also this team will improve. Same thing with the defensive side of the ball. This is a group that was pretty bad at times, and this is a group that expects better of itself. This is a unit that it should take steps forward, and Jacob Robinson will play a role in that. 59 tackles, 4 interceptions last year. Teams definitely tested him quite a bit, and he proved that he is someone that shouldn't be tested as much as they did. I think that the passing attack, well, I can't even call it a strength because it was just a group that finished 92nd. But Jacob Robinson was definitely a bright spot on a group that definitely needs to get better. And the talent they have coming back should make that happen. Tyler Baddy comes back for yet another season as a defensive end for this defense. 6'5", 275 pounds, a bigger defensive end that should be a major factor. Once again, 9 tackles for loss, 5.5 sacks last year. I think that he is a proven playmaker who is ready to do a lot of good things for this defense once again. And again, if you're looking to improve on your defensive numbers, getting to the quarterback and being more disruptive in the run game is going to go a long way in helping that. Now, the rushing attack was pretty poor last year, finished 120th. And that's something that must improve. A lot of that has to do with the offensive line, but also the running back position needs to be better as well. LJ Martin comes back after a 518-yard season with 4 touchdowns. I think that if his offensive line can do some good things, a guy that's 6'2", 225 pounds, who can be very physical, is going to have a lot of success as long as he does his part and everyone around him is able to step up as well. Now, a player to keep an eye on is tight end Keano Hill, the former wide receiver, has been kind of learning his new position. And I think after last year, we saw him get a little bit more comfortable. If he's able to take a step forward because he's more comfortable in that position, you'll improve upon a year in which you had 187 yards and 1 touchdown, averaged nearly 16 yards per catch. He obviously added some good size. Now he's 6'4", 240 pounds. And this offensive staff expects him to be more of a contributor, more of a factor in the passing attack. And he is someone who can be explosive. His wide receiver days are going to help him a lot. Obviously, he's just learning how to carry his weight a little bit different, as well as how he can be more of a factor in the rushing attack. But he is someone that if things are going well, and it obviously a lot of that has to do with who the quarterback's going to be, whether that's Gary Bohannon, whether that's McKay Hillstead, Trayson Bourget, maybe you have someone that's going to find chemistry with him, but he is someone who I expect to be more of a factor this year. Back to the defense, Crew Wakely is another player that has plenty of experience for this BYU defense and plenty of talent. 59 tackles, 3.5 tackles for loss, 1 interception. Again, the secondary feels like it's going to be a much better group with the returning they have, and that's huge for a group that finished in the triple digits for most statistical categories. And again, if you can even get to within, the 60 to 80 range, that's a step forward. And especially in a Big 12 that has plenty of contenders, BYU can surprise some people. A big transfer portal addition in Jack Kelly puts BYU in a good position for linebackers. 6'2", 235 pounds, productive year with 12 tackles for loss, 10.5 sacks, 2 fumble recoveries, 4 forced fumbles. Guy who was just everywhere on the field. Now he's taking that jump from the FCS to the FBS level. So we'll see if he can handle that. But you have to feel pretty good about what he can do. The staff already really likes where he's at. And he is someone that could, like I said, surprise people and make a big time impact for his new team. Cody Epps didn't have the greatest year, but he is definitely someone who's capable of being a major factor for an offense. 259 yards on just 21 catches. You'd like to see him get more involved. But again, this is a group that finished 92nd in passing. The quarterback position obviously plays a big factor in who gets the football. But a guy like Cody Epps has the talent to get open. It's just a matter of, can he get back to his form that we've seen in years past? And can the quarterbacks get him the football? When you add in Darius Lassiter, you have plenty of talent. There's really no excuse for the quarterbacks at this point. You have the guys downfield at both wide receiver and tight end, and it's just a matter of getting them the ball. Lassiter at 365 yards on just 29 catches for 4 touchdowns. You have plenty of talent to move the ball down the field, and this should be a better group, especially moving the ball through the air. There's really no reason why BYU can't be better. It's just going to come down to execution. It's going to come down to who's going to be the quarterback, and if you have the talent that they do and you don't get the job done, it's because the quarterback's not doing their job. But again, a quarterback battle should make for better production. But again, you need to get things going right off the bat because this Big 12 is going to be tough. And if you can't throw the ball, you're in for a lot of long games. And finally, another player in the secondary, Ethan Slade, someone who is ready to take a step forward. I think everyone's paying attention to guys like Jacob Robinson and Crew Wakely. Ethan Slade is someone who can be more of a factor this year. He still had 60 tackles last year on 1.5 tackles for loss, 1 interception. So he has some production to be able to be a contributing factor for this defense. But again, if the defense can't step up and can't produce, then you might have some concerns, but you also have talent coming back that leads you to believe this should be a better group in 2024. Whether or not that leads to wins remains to be seen. It's going to be a tough conference to compete in. It's going to be a tough conference to win football games, but BYU, despite their struggles last year, has plenty of talent to take a step forward in 2024.